Welcome to Maximum Effort 360, where story meets stats. Today, we're heading back to the beginning, to Season 1 of Midsomer Murders, where murder is just another village hobby. We'll break down every episode, every body, and every motive. Stick around to the end for the final tally, the best and worst murders, and the deadliest episode overall. Let's get started. Episode 1. The Killings at Badger's Drift. It all begins in Badger's Drift, a sleepy English village hiding deadly secrets under layers of lavender and gossip. This episode introduces us to DCI Tom Barnaby and his sergeant, Gavin Troy. It also sets the gold standard for absurdly high village homicide rates. Kill 1. Emily Simpson. Emily is a gentle elderly woman who accidentally stumbles across something incriminating while photographing wild orchids. Her reward, a teacup laced with poisoned hemlock. Behind the scenes, the tea was mixed with colored glycerin to give it a cloudy, unnatural look. Actress Rosalie Crutchley delivers the perfect mix of dignity and dread in her final moments. Kill 2 and 3. Iris and Dennis Rainbird. Iris is the town's premier gossip, and Dennis, her creepy adult son, is just as nosy. They're both stabbed in their home in twin beds. Fun fact: Dennis is played by Richard Cant, real-life son of Blue Peter host Brian Cant. He later returns in Season 11 as Dennis's cousin. Director Jeremy Silberston leaned into the dark comedy here, crafting their deaths to feel both grotesque and strangely hilarious. Total kills: 3. Episode 2. Written in Blood. The Midsomer-worthy writer's circle is full of ambition, resentment, and unpublished manuscripts. When a guest author visits, things quickly go from fiction to fatal. Kill 4. Gerald Hadley. Gerald is a respected member of the writers' group, with a very messy past. He ends up bludgeoned with a candlestick and stuffed in his own fireplace. Not exactly a warm welcome. Actor Robert Swan, trained on the stage, brought gravitas to the role. The burned body effect was achieved with prosthetics and fast camera cuts. Kill 5. Max Jennings. Max is a smug, flirtatious author, and he's just figured out Gerald's secret. Poisoned, he dies in bed. Most of the episode was filmed in Amersham, Buckinghamshire, with studio interiors built to match. Episode 2. Total number of kills: 2. Episode 3. Death of a Hollow Man. Lights, camera, murder. In Midsommer's amateur theatre scene, drama doesn't stay on the stage. Kill 6. Agnes Grey. An elderly ex-nun, Agnes lit a candle and is in prayer underneath the figure of the Virgin Mary, but she is bludgeoned to death with a crowbar, and later discovered floating in a river. Kill 7. Eslan Carmichael. This one's iconic. Eslan, a self-absorbed actor, dies on stage when a prop razor is swapped for the real deal. Actor Nicholas Laprevo used a retractable safety blade. Blood was added in post. This is the only episode in the series written by Midsomer Murders' original author, Caroline Graham. It's also the first time Joyce Barnaby witnesses a death, and the first episode where the killer lives to be arrested. Behind the scenes, the theatre used was the Corn Exchange in Wallingford, a real venue that appears in multiple episodes. Total kills: 2. Episode 4. Faithful Unto Death. This episode dials back the pace, but not the drama. A shady investment scheme, a staged kidnapping, and a quiet town bubbling with tension. Kill 8. Brenda Buckley. Brenda is a nosy neighbor who's seen a little too much. She's forced into traffic and hit by a lorry. Her death appears accidental, but it's very deliberate. Production used multiple rigged car camera angles and a stunt coordinator to sell the impact safely. Kill 9. Alan Hollingsworth. Alan is the town's slippery mill owner, played by Roger Allam, known later for his work in Endeavour. After faking his wife's kidnapping, Alan drinks whiskey from a bottle that's been secretly poisoned. This was one of the few poisonings in Season 1 not delivered through food or tea. Leslie Vicarage stars as Alan's long-suffering wife, Simone. Their tense dynamic anchors the episode's emotional core. Behind the scenes, This episode includes the first appearance of George Bullard's wife. And interestingly, its plot mirrors a real-life American case involving Celeste Beard, a widow who manipulated her lover into killing her husband. Total kills, 2. Episode 5, Death in Disguise. Season 1 ends with crystals, chants, and cultish murder. Welcome to Golden Windhorse, a new age commune where the only thing more dangerous than enlightenment is jealousy. Kill 10. Bill Carter. The founder of the commune, Bill is found at the bottom of a staircase with a broken neck. It's ruled accidental at first, but turns out someone gave him a little push. The fall was coordinated by the stunt team, using hidden padding and clever cuts to make it look fatal. Kill 11. Guy Gamelin. An outsider to the commune, and estranged father to one of the members. He suffers a fatal heart attack after his medication is secretly withheld. A slow, deliberate kill, rooted in bitterness and manipulation. Kill 12. Ian Craigie. The commune leader is stabbed during a séance. The knife is thrown across the room and hits him in the chest. He bleeds out as the lights flicker. This is the only time in the season a murder weapon is thrown. A spring-loaded knife and a soft impact vest were used to keep the actor safe. Behind the scenes, this was the final episode adapted from a Caroline Graham novel. Her last 2 Barnaby books, A Place of Safety and Ghost in the Machine, were never adapted for TV. Total kills, 3. Final stats. Total murders, 11. Total episodes, 5. Average murders per episode, 2.2. Total runtime, approximately 8 hours, 20 minutes. Kill rate, 1.33 murders per hour. Awards and superlatives. Best murder, Eslan Carmichael, on stage with a real razor. A murder in plain sight, with the audience watching and no one realizing it until it's too late. Worst murder, Agnes Gray, bludgeoned to death with a crowbar, and later discovered floating in a river. She deserved better. Deadliest episode, tie between Episode 1 The Killings at Badger's Drift and Episode 5 Death in Disguise. Each had 3 bodies. Creepiest motive, the Rainbird's blackmail and bizarre codependence takes the cake. Thanks for joining us on this deadly stroll through Midsomer Murders Season 1. Which murder shocked you most? Which death do you think was the most deserved, or the most brutal? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more crime stats, plot breakdowns, and countryside carnage. This is Maximum Effort 360. And as always, we bring the facts with maximum effort.